Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto was created by the Otsutsuki clan. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto returned different with a yin yang bloodline. Enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And also guys, yes, I indeed have 3 channels if you're new: Anime King, Anime King 2, and Making 3, which I post what if fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day. So go ahead and turn on that bell notification as well to see exactly when I post, because as I said, I post every day on 3 channels. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Ishiki, Otsutsuki. The Otsutsuki that came with Kaguya to Earth was currently residing. He was in a different dimension, but it was still connected to the Earth. He felt the power of Naruto. Being there a long time ago, he knew exactly who Naruto was. He didn't know him by that name though, but he knew who Naruto was, as he was shocked to feel that power. Ishiki was a man that was extremely powerful, yet he seemed afraid. Well, he wasn't completely afraid, but he didn't want to engage with Naruto, so he was going to remain silent, out of the loop. As his plans are nowhere ready to start yet, but he wondered what that abomination was doing on this planet. Meanwhile, Naruto went into a fit of rage. After seeing Remy being put down, he brought back memories of someone else, a girl. As Naruto started to attack Aoi, Aoi didn't stand a chance as Naruto took the Thunder Blade from him and used an attack that reduced him to nothing. Aoi was just completely erased. Naruto wasn't done though, as he brought up the water transformed into a spectral 9-tailed fox. The chakra inside of him formed in it as it became solid, the water. The thing then destroyed the bridge. It eliminated all of the opposing forces. Haku realized that she needed to wake up this girl as she quickly rushed towards her. As she removed the Senbon needle to wake Remy back up, thinking that she might be the only one that could stop this chaos. So with that, Naruto destroyed all the forces as he turned the 9 tails towards the Konoha forces. Kakashi and the others started to panic as they got ready to fight, but Remy woke up and called out Naruto's name. But Naruto heard someone else, as he called a strange name, Akira. That name alone was able to calm his thoughts, but he turned to see that it was Remy as he calmed down. Seeing the destruction that he caused, he fixed the bridge, shocking everyone there. He then he just shut himself down. When Naruto woke up, he was in a futon. As he pulled himself up, he had shut himself down so his mind could clear his thoughts and everything. That is when he saw Haku. As she was outside, she used an ice mirror to get in. She thanked him for sparing their life. As Zabuza was really remorseful to the people because it turns out that Gato was going to betray him. He found plans at Gato's place. Gato wanted to sell his body back to Kiri. So Zabuza felt, well, embarrassed about being here for too long. But Haku wanted to stay behind to thank Naruto. She also gave him a kiss on the cheek, and she told him until they meet again. So with that she left. Remy came in the room. As she hugged him, she was worried, as he just shut down like that. He was breathing perfectly fine, but he just wouldn't wake up. And it was not that his chakra was low. Something was just... They were all worried. As he apologized, they went back to Konoha, as Naruto had to lie. But Minato decided to tell the entire family what happened on the night of 9 Tails' attack. The other two acted like siblings would. They were concerned for their brother if something would happen to him. But, well, they still boast, saying that he didn't know how to control that power, so Mito thought that she was still better than him. Poor Wise, as Menma was cool as ever, but he was also dipping in a few times here and there. It didn't take long for the Chunin exams to come around. Orochimaru the Sannin realized that attacking Konoha, especially entering the Forest of Death with those Genins with Minato here, was a really stupid, idiotic idea, so he stayed away. He decided to strike from the shadows. Orochimaru was planning something big. If he planned it perfectly, it would mean the downfall of Konoha. But the Chunin exams came around as the children got signed up for it. As Naruto met the Shikaku container, as he felt the power inside of him. But there was not only one Jinchuriki that came from another nation. The two-tailed host was also here as well. Surprising Naruto by that, as there were now two Jinchurikis here in Konoha, as he could sense their power quite well. Going through the Forest of Death was rather easy for him and his group, as they arrived there rather quickly, as the San and Kumo group wasn't far behind. As Anko was rather shocked. They had shattered the record. As Naruto saw the girl, she piqued his interest. She seemed to enjoy fighting, strong opponents to be exact, and she had this cat-like nature about her. She already knew who he was, as she was looking forward to fight him. And she just seemed cool about it, so Naruto did not mind. The preliminaries then started up, as everyone came. Menma faced off against Darui from Kumo as Menma won, but not easy. Darui was a bit strong as he was able to use some strange black lightning technique that was able to transform into a panther. As Naruto was surprised because he was next against Gaara the Sand, Minato narrowed his gaze towards the Shikaku Jinchuriki. The boy was said to be unstable. But while that was going on, there was a woman on a faraway planet, and she was looking at a photograph. On said photo, it was a man with white hair, but it was his eyes. His eyes were the same as Naruto. That was what he looked like before. His body was destroyed. And so many more was revealed. So yeah guys, it was basically as we left off. So if you want to learn more and enjoy the story guys, sit back, relax, and let's just get right into it guys. Kushina stood beside her husband, Minato. Isn't that? As the look on Minato's face told her everything. That boy was the one Tails Jinchuriki. Jiraiya had gave them back report on him. He was said to be homicidal and very dangerous. The treatment that he received was not a kind one, and it turned him into the person that he is today, a violent person that would stop at nothing but to kill. So the couple was a bit worried. They knew that their son was strong, but this kid was said to return back from his missions without a single scratch on him. The Shikaku had a lot of sway over him. As Naruto looked down there towards Gaara, who was smirking at him, Remy grabbed his hand. "Be careful," she said, as she could tell that this guy was not exactly normal. She's right. That guy looked like he's some sort of demon. "Just look at his eyes," said Shikamaru. As Naruto glanced up towards Kakashi. "Do your best," said Kakashi, cheering Naruto on. The eye smile. As Naruto nodded to them, Naruto glanced over as he saw his brother and sister looking at him. As Menma had a few scratches on him because of his fight with Darui, but he was all bandaged up. As Mito looked at him carefully, she mouthing the words "be careful" as she looked down towards that guy. His gaze was just so intense. Naruto glanced over as he saw the other girl, Yujito, the one from the Kumo team. She was smirking, as she was looking forward to see what he can do. She could tell that he was strong. As Naruto jumped off, as he landed right on his feet. Gaara chuckled a bit when he saw that. "What's so funny?" said Naruto. "You were one of the few that piqued my interests. I can tell. There's something different about you. I don't know exactly what it is, but there is something. I can just tell," said Gaara. "You will be one of the many that will prove my existence. I'm looking forward to us battling." "Namikaze," said Gaara. with a creepy smile on his face. "Are the both of you ready?" Hayate asked. As they nodded, "Begin!" The cork on Gaara's gourd launched towards Naruto as Naruto reached up and caught it, surprising many of the others. He held on to the cork. It broke down into sand and shot right in his face. The thing gathered over his face as it tried to suffocate him. Gaara smirked as he sent a wave of sand to take out Naruto's legs, only for Naruto to leap up in the air, rather high, as the others were surprised by his jump. But the sand was still constricted on his face until he reached up. Flashing through hand sand, he spewed water from his mouth. It got soggy and fell off into clumps as Naruto landed right into the midst of the sand. Gaara smirked. "I'm glad that you didn't go down that quickly. It would have been a real disappointment." "That guy's over with." Mito heard that as she turned her gaze to look towards the blonde Kunoichi. "What did you just say?" "That guy down there. The one with the red and blonde hair, he's done with. Whenever Gaara gets like this, his opponents will not survive." "Well then, I see that you're stupid," Mito said. "What was that?" said Tamari. "Because that guy down there is my brother, and I assure you, he will not fall that easily." As Kankuro chuckled at that, "I love that you have faith in your brother," he said. "But trust me, he will not survive Gaara." "You guys don't know what you're talking about," said Ino as she overheard them. "Naruto-kun is really strong. Just watch and see. That guy down there is nothing compared to him." Menma smirked at that. "Well then, Naruto, show them what you can do," he said, as Remy and Yujito eyes were just focused on the match. As Minato stood there calmly, hers and watching the match as well, everyone was really focusing hard to see this turn out. As Gaara saw them all looking, he saw all the people looking towards the Namikaze with love, admiration on their face, and he hated it. He didn't need anyone. He never needed anyone. And this Namikaze belief, just because he had all these people, he was better than him, so he was gonna take him away to make all of them suffer. He was gonna kill the Namikaze right here and now. A single raise of his hand as sand shot forward with an abnormal rate. It was coming in clumps and waves. It reached Naruto rather quickly, only for him to disappear. Lee's eyes widened. "That speed," he said. As Neji was surprised, Neji knew Naruto rather well. The both of their philosophy and the way they thought was on the same level. And Naruto was good friends with Hinata. And when they went over there, Naruto, well, it was Hisashi that spoke to Naruto first and introduced him to his son as a friend. As Neji didn't really have that much friend outside the clan. As he was not really a social person, he liked to stick by himself. But Naruto wasn't like the other kids. He didn't act immature. So that is why him and Naruto were friends. You wouldn't call them best friends or anything like that, but they were friends. And Neji knew that Naruto was stronger than most. But as he watched this guy with his Byakugan, he could see that other chakra inside of him. His father had told him about Jinchurikis, human sacrifices, when he had asked about the Nine Tails. Konoha doesn't have one because people, well, they don't really like Jinchurikis, so it's a good thing that Konoha doesn't have one. That child would not have a good life. As Neji saw that chakra once again, it was so much. It literally covers his entire being. Neji doubted that this guy was in control of his own actions. As he watched the guy with his Byakugan, Lee on the other hand was surprised just as Guy, as Naruto's speed was phenomenal. Lee's eyes were shining. He knew Naruto through Neji. And the actions that he was seeing right now made him want to ask Naruto for a spar. Once this was all over, as he got his blood pumping. Meanwhile, Gaara looked around. As he turned to see Naruto behind him a distance away, Naruto pulled out 3 shurikens as he tossed them towards Gaara. Gaara deflected them in his hand like they were nothing. "You think you're measly?" Boom! It showed that the shurikens were actually kunais with exploding tags as they went off in a colossal explosion. The sand had covered them, so the pulse had literally blew Gaara back. As he was surprised, as his face turned into a scowl. Enough of this game. I'll bury you, he said as he launched another colossal wave of sand towards Naruto. As Naruto raised both hands, wind style, hurricane clap, he said. He slammed both hands together as a force of wind blacked right in the middle of Gaara's sand and literally blew it away as Naruto leaped up in air. Wind style, pressure damage. Gaara's sand came up as the force of it brought Gaara down to his knee. A look of absolute rage came on his face as the sand shot right up towards Naruto's small sand bullets. Naruto twisted and dodged all of them as he landed right behind Gaara. Gaara lashed out another way, but Naruto flipped away. You can't touch me, Namikaze. Just die already! Why? Why do you hate me, Gaara? Said Naruto. I barely even know you. As Naruto glanced up toward the stands and looked towards Gaara's siblings. Your siblings don't seem to like you like this. Why don't you just calm down? Calm down? Calm down, said Gaara, as he started to laugh. An insane demonic chuckle, as it didn't sound normal at all. You speak about my siblings as if I care what they think, but you don't have to worry. I'll go after your siblings as well, in this exam. I'll kill them all. Kushina's gaze narrowed towards the punk, talking about killing her children, as it started to anger her, judging by her fist clenching. Minato placed a hand on her shoulder trying to calm her, but she was getting angry. Naruto, on the other hand, glanced up towards the heavens. Well, not really, because the ceiling was blocking his path. As his hands were at his side, the sand came rushing towards him, as Naruto did not move. What is he doing? Naruto, move! Ino shouted out. But Naruto did not move. Glances flashed in front of his eyes, as he remembered fighting, all of them. He remembered losing everything that day. The day when he was captured and sealed away, for being himself, just because he wanted to live, just because he didn't want to follow the regime. And now Gaara wanted to take his siblings away from him by killing them in the exam. As Naruto could see full and clear that this guy intended to do what he says, and with the power that he has sealed away inside of him, he could do it. The sand erupted around Naruto as it then came in to squash him. Naruto held out both hands as the sand trapped him in a dome. Naruto! Several people called out his name at once, but the sand was blown away, surprising them. And Naruto was not there. Instead, what they heard was a cry of pain. They turned to see Gaara double over Naruto's fists. As he spat out blood, it fell to the ground. Temari and Kankuro eyes went wide in absolute shock. What just happened? Said Kankuro, confused. But he was not the only ones. As the Jonin started to glance towards Kakashi. Did he teleport? Kurine asked, confused. Because she didn't see him move. She looked to see Kakashi showing off his Sharingan. Not even he could see with his normal eye. As she looked towards Kakashi for confirmation to really see if this was reality, did Naruto just move in pure speed? And they were unable to see. That was impossible, right? Even Minato was surprised. He knew that his son was fast, but Minato was able to keep up with the speed. His eyes were faster than most after all. And he had just moved with such speed that it was seemingly unnormal. Gaara, on the other hand, felt pain like he's never felt before as a fist grinding in his stomach. But not only that, as his body was picked off the ground, hovering in the air for a single second until Naruto turned, his foot meeting Gaara's face in mid-air. The entire left side of Gaara's face exploded, the sand shield cracking into dust. As blood started to leak from his jaw going down towards his chin, his head was implanted into the wall. Gaara's hands twitched as he ripped his head out with a psychotic scream. He gripped his head. Sand started to encircle him as he started to growl like a wild animal. You, Namikaze! You will die! Naruto slammed his hands together and went through hand sign, but it was just for show, because he didn't need to as he took in a breath. He then released a colossal amount of water. The water wave that came out of his mouth was abnormal, shocking the people at the velocity of the chakra that he possessed. So much to be able to do that, Gaara was hit full on. The wall broke. As the pressure kept on increasing until Gaara started to scream out. The sand was unable to protect him as his raw skin was being battered. By the time Naruto was finished, Gaara collapsed, coughing and wheezing. He looked up towards Naruto's face, shocked that Naruto was in front of him. As Naruto reared his foot back and slammed it into Gaara's face, a smile came on Naruto's face as he remembered. As he started to get influenced by his memories in the past. But these ones were not the ones of remorse. These ones were the cold-blooded, god of destruction, planet destroyer, chaotic beast that he once was. His feet came down several times as Gaara's face was beat into the earth. By the time Naruto was done, Gaara's face was a bloody mess. Naruto reached and gripped him by the throat. As he started to squeeze, sand came out and shot forward. But Naruto did not care. A golden aura dissipated all the sand, stopping it as Gaara's eyes went wide. Blood was leaking from all over his face. The sand started to move as it came from down below and shot upwards. But Naruto drive Gaara's face into his own sand, using speed that Gaara was not able to stop his own attack. So he got hit with his own attack as he was sent propelling back into the wall, his body leaving an imprint. The smile in his face started to widen a bit, until a voice in his head spoke. Why? Is it because they tell you that you're meant to destroy? Is that the reason why you do all of this? Is that the reason why you enjoy killing? As Naruto paused, his eyes were turning back to normal because they were taking on a darker look. The gold in his eyes were dimming down. He blinked several times. He looked at his hands. He knew what he was doing, but he let his actions control him. That path of his life that when he used to... He shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts. As everyone was astonished, shocked even. Temari and Conqueror and Baki couldn't believe what they were seeing. Baki never thought that another Genin could do Gaara like this. Something like that should be impossible, right? But no. As Gaara peeled himself out of the wall, Namikaze! He screamed! The chakra started to swirl around him as Naruto moved, dodging all of the sand spikes. That is when he jumped away and pulled that strange tag out of his pouch. As he started to use his blood, Naruto fortified his blood with chakra. As he carved a seal into it, he then moved, dodging all of Gaara's attacks before he flipped over him. Gaara shot sand out, but Naruto vanished and appeared behind Gaara in a sunshine and slammed the tag in the back of his head. As Naruto went through hand sign, seal, he said. Gaara screamed out in pain as black markings started to spread over his body, suppressing not only his chakra but the Shikaku chakra as well. Gaara then collapsed face first. The sand team was petrified in shock as they couldn't believe what they just witnessed. Gaara, he lost. Genma came over and checked the child. He was indeed unconscious. As he walked over, winner, Naruto Namikaze, he said. The people were astonished by this battle. At the brutality, Naruto showed 1 minute, and the next moment he was calm. Yujito narrowed her gaze. Nibi, did you see that glow? What was it? I'm not sure, but the power felt like nothing I ever felt before. It feels like chakra, but at the same time it doesn't feel like chakra. This child. You're right, keep an eye on him. He's indeed special after all. I knew he was from the moment I laid my eyes on him, said Yujito. I'm intrigued to know what else he can do, she said, with a smile on her face. As Naruto made his way back up the stairs, Gaara was rushed towards the hospital. As Baki excused himself and made his way as well. Naruto paused in front of Temari and Kankuro, as he bowed his head slightly to them. I'm sorry that I hurt your brother so badly, he said. They were surprised. Out of all the things they expected him to say, for him to apologize was not one they expect. As Tamar regained her bearings, Gar is a lot stronger than he looked. He'll be fine, she said. Yeah, don't worry about it, said Kankuro. He might not have liked what this guy just did to Gar, but he was apologizing. Not many shinobis would defeat an opponent and then apologize. That was just strange. This guy was just naturally nice. They came to realize, but that was not the only thing. He was strong. Strong enough to take Gar by himself. And not to mention to be able to pull off an attack like that. Gathering so much water, he was able to deduce that that was Gar's weakness. His sand was unable to work properly, and it was a lot slower around water. He was also smart as well. As Yujito spoke as he paused, I knew there was something about you, she said. I'm looking forward to our match. As Naruto turned a smile. Well then, I wish you good luck on your matches. If you want to meet me at the finals, because it seems I'm moving on. Yes, it seems that way. But I assure you, I will be there, she said. As Naruto nodded and walked past her. Ino then stopped him and said something as Naruto walked over afterwards. As he spoke to Remy, Minato with a smile on his face. His son was a real ladies' man, it seems. As he smiled at that. What's so funny, said Kushina, as she knew exactly why he was smiling. It's nothing, he said, feigning ignorance as he turned his head back down there. But the both of them noticed the brutality that he showed. The thing was, Naruto was not a violent person. Seeing that he also apologized, he was the kindest out of the three of them. He never wanted to harm anyone or merely fight. Sometimes Kushina believed that the only reason why he became a shinobi was because his siblings were doing it as well, and he didn't want to disappoint them. Was she being a bad mother? She thought to herself, making him do something he didn't want to do. She tried her best to love and appreciate all of them, but did she not focus that he didn't want to be a shinobi? As she started to contradict herself and think, was she actually being a bad mother? She thought to herself. The next match after that was Neji versus Hinata. This match was a unique one. The both of them didn't really have any hate for each other. Hisashi had spoke to his son many times so that he could be friends with Hinata. She was his cousin, she was family. Just because she was a main branch, that doesn't mean he should avoid her. So that is why the fight was not really that violent. The both of them gave it the best they could. But in the end, Neji showed to be the better fighter overall. Despite Hinata being the clan head, she was good. Don't get it wrong, she was good. After all, she was in the top tier in the academy with the girls. But Neji experienced and more skilled. It caused him to be above her. But that just pushed her to be stronger and stronger, so that she can rule properly as clan head. As she had a lot of support as well, with her lovingness and her kindness for the branch family, and the affection that she showed towards Neji as well. As the others saw her, different from most of the older main members, who treat them really badly, Hinata was just too kind. She was wonderful. As Neji though made sure that that kindness was not used against her, because some people might take her for advantage, because she was just too kind. So with that, the next match was Yujito versus Kiba Inazaka. Kiba smirked here and that, as he wondered which one of those girls is named Yujito. He was surprised. It was a hot one from Kumo. Yujito gave Naruto a glance to make sure that he's watching. Seems like she's infatuated with you, said Remy, as Naruto turned towards her. What do you mean? She likes you. As Naruto turned to see Ino, who looked rather upset. Are you alright? Naruto asked. Yeah, I'm fine, she said, as she looked back downstairs. He could feel the emotions coming from her. As he glanced towards her, her whole body turned green in his eyes. Jealousy, it seems. As he glanced back down there towards Yujito, who was making things worse by winking at Naruto. As there was a bit of playfulness behind it, it seems like she wanted to cause problem. Maybe it was a side effect from the Nibi. A bit of cat-like curiosity, or that was just her normal demeanor. but she was not that bad, he must say. As Kiba saw where she was looking, "Hey," he said. "How about when this is over we go and grab a bite to eat?" As she raised her eyebrow, "Are you asking me out?" she said. "Well, you're a fine-looking woman," he said. "Oh, my name is Kiba Inazaka, the Alpha. You can call me if you want." "Because I am," he said with a proud smile. "Oh, you're Inazaka. So you go off the dog rules like Alpha and Beta," she asked. "Exactly," said Kiba. "But you know, I don't really like dogs, I like cats. Is that going to be a problem?" she asked. "I doubt it," said Kiba. "As long as you don't bring up all those cat craps, we can still have fun. So what do you say to my proposal?" The proctor asked him if they were ready. "Oh yes, we are," she said. "Are you?" "Well, I'd rather not fight in someone that I'm going on a date with later. But sure, why don't we just hurry up and end this? Don't worry, I won't hurt you too badly." As Menma shook his head, "That idiot," he said. Couldn't he see what she was doing? Could he really not see what she was doing? As she walked towards him rather gently. "So, after this, you want to take me out?" "I must say, you really must be a top dog to ask me like that. I mean, no hesitation, no fear. You must be quite the prideful one. Not to mention you're quite handsome," she said. As Kiba started to blush at that. "Well, it runs in the family, I guess," he said. "Well then, Kiba, I would love to go on a date with you." As she was incredibly close to him by now, as she sniffed him. "And that scent that you carry, smelling so manly. How about we just skip the whole date? And let's take this to the bedroom," she said. Kiba's eyes went wide. Really? Well then, if you BAM! He was cut off as he was hit directly in the face. His body was sent sailing as Akamaru jumped out of the jacket at the last moment. He impacted in the wall. He was knocked out cold. The proctor came over, falling for a little solution that easily. As Hayate coughed, "Winner, Yujito of the cloud." As Yujito calmly made her way up, giving Naruto another smirk. As everyone groaned at Kiba's idiocy, didn't he see that the girl was just coming closer to him so that she could get a better shot in? It seems that the Konoha ninjas are never trained or prepared to handle a bit of seduction, said Samui, as Yujito looked towards her teammate. "Or perhaps I'm just that irresistible," she said. Samui turned her head. "Hey, what's that about?" Yujito asked. "I didn't say anything," said Samui. "But you did imply something." Samui simply looked away. As the board went through names once again. Tenten versus Temari. Temari outclassed Tenten in every way, as she didn't really stand a chance. Her win was just superior to her weapons. Ino faced off against Kankuro, as Ino was fooled with his puppet rather easily. He then released a strange poison on her. They had to call the match so that he could give her the antidote. The next match was Shikamaru versus Sakura, which was a rather easy win for Shikamaru. The next match was Shino versus Samui. Samui from the cloud was an all-around fighter. She used blades. But the thing was, Shino bugs were a big factor in this fight, as some of them were able to latch onto her. While she was fighting, she kept on getting weaker and weaker, as she barely paid attention. So, the longer the fight dragged on, the more she started to lose strength, and Shino was able to easily knock her out afterwards, leaving Yujito as the only one to represent her village. But that didn't matter, she would make them proud. The next fight was Remy versus Yakumo. Yakumo, while powerful in Genjutsu, but the thing was, Remy's Sharingan was able to see through most of the Genjutsus, and the real base Genjutsu that she made were not fast enough because Yakumo didn't have that much diversity in her abilities, and she couldn't go overboard because of the whole dual personality thing. But that was sealed away by Minato, so she couldn't break the seal to go overboard. So she was able to be defeated by Remy. as Remy came out on top without even a scratch. Inabi went down there as they faced off against Ami. While a skilled fighter, because her older sister Yujito taught her with a blade, Inabi, using his two-totem Sharingan, was able to outpace her in almost every way and defeat her. Rock Lee then went down there against Sasuke Uchiha. Now this match was a hectic one. Both fighters pushed themselves, but the thing was Lee was still holding back. The reason being he could open the gates, but against a fellow Leaf comrade, Lee would not push himself that far. And Lee's speed was just that much greater than Sasuke's. He does have a year experience over Sasuke after all. And Lee was able to defeat him while getting a few scratches in, but he still won. After those few matches, the preliminaries came to an end as everyone was gathered up. They all had to select numbers so they would know who would go for the finals. After their numbers were given back, Uncle Midarashi came over as she wrote on the board who will be fighting who. The first match will be Shikamaru versus Temari. Shikamaru sighed. Why a girl once again? It wasn't that he had anything against girls. It was just he already fight one a moment ago and now, once again. Conqueror then was supposed to go off against Shino for the second match. The third match will be Yujito versus Remy, as Naruto eyed the two opponents. The fourth match will be Naruto Namikaze versus Inabi Uchiha, as Inabi had the brightest smile hearing that. This was just perfect. Beyond perfect, he thought to himself. The fifth match will be Menma versus Rock Lee. Menma glanced towards Lee. He was fast, really fast. But Menma was no slouch either. This will be a contest of speed. Yes, strength will be involved, but speed will be the most that they rely on. It should be quite an interesting match. Neji will then face off against Shino. Mito would face off against the winner of the first match. Minato told them they had 1 month so that they could get prepared. Naruto was called away by Kushina. She told him that she wanted to speak with him. So with that, he made his way with her. Is there something wrong, Mom? He said. Just wait until we arrive, I'll tell you everything, she said. Arrive? She brought him to her favorite spot, on top of Minato's head, on the monument. As she stood in front of him, his eyes scanned over her as he saw sadness. Pure sadness. She then turned as there was tears running down her cheek. Naruto-kun, come here, she said. He stepped forward confused. Did I push you to become a shinobi? Did I put pressure on you, saying that you have to do this even if you didn't want to? Please, don't lie to me. I need to know, she said. As Naruto looked at her confused. I don't understand. You've never liked fighting. Your brother and sister do enjoy fighting, and their whole life they want to be a shinobi, but you never show interest in the art. But you went along with it anyway. Was it me? Did I put pressure on you, making you believe that you had to do it? Even if you didn't want to, she said. I don't want you to worry about my feelings right now. I just want you to tell me the truth. Naruto moved in and wrapped her in a hug, as Kushina stood there. You and father always gave us choices to do what we want. The expectations from other people were there, but you two always gave us a choice to do what we want. It doesn't matter the outcome. I assure you, you didn't push me to do anything, said Naruto. In fact, I want you to do this. Besides, can't let the others think that you're better than me. As he put on a smirk, it made her smile throughout the tears as she hugged him tight. She then pulled back as she caressed his face with both of her hands. Back there, when you fought that Gara kid, you were... I'm sorry, said Naruto. I lost my cool. What he said about Menma and Mito, I just got so angry. I understand, she said. You're not the only one with the anger problem. As much as I try to deny it, I have one as well. But sometimes you just have to shrug these things off and not let them bother you too much. Alright, she said. As Naruto nodded. Alright, come on, she said. You have 1 month to prepare. You'll be fighting Inibi. Between me and you. I want you to kick his ass, she said. As Naruto chuckled at that. Always trying to challenge you. This is the opportunity to show him that you're a lot better than him. It seems like you're reading my mind, mother, said Naruto. He's always looking for a big fight. This is going to be the biggest one yet. Everyone's going to be there to witness everything. As Kushina and Naruto chuckled at that. Come on, let's get back to your studies on Fuinjutsu. I saw that you used it in the end of the match. Quite ingenious. Fortifying your blood with chakra. Without any ink there. That was a quick, ingenious move, she said. Well, I was taught by the best. Kushina blushed at that. As they made their way. Time skip. With a month time training, Jiraiya came back. As Jiraiya wanted to have the three of them sign the Toad Summoning contract. Their chakra reserves were nuts. Enough to sign when they were younger. Other than that burst of strange power that Naruto used. He never really used anything else than that. But now they were ready. Alright, you three, said Jiraiya. I was planning on training you three myself, so that you could be ready for the exams. But doing that would be unfair to each of you. After all, you'll be seeing each other's skills, and knowing what to be prepared for. So I can't do that. So I can't give you guys a gift. I'm here to let you all sign this summoning contract of the Toads, he said. Perfect Sage? Said Mito. Jiraiya eyed twitch. Why can't I have some respect? You call Snatty Hein, Lady Snatty. Yet with me, it's Perfect Sage. As Naruto started to laugh, Mom said the name suits you. Yeah, Kushina. There's no doubt that she's behind this. What's up, Mito? I'm sorry, but I can't sign the scroll. Why not? Said Jiraiya confused. Because the Lady Snatty says she let me sign hers. I'm gonna be a slug summoner. What? Said Jiraiya. As he looked around. You know, Mito, between me and you, toads are a lot better than slugs. They have the fighting capability. And not to mention, slugs don't have any arms. What can they do? Squash people with their body? You know, it will be really bad for you if someone was to tell Snatty-sama what you just said Menma. As Jiraiya paused. Yeah, that would be really bad. Good thing no one here is gonna tell her, right? I don't know. Hey you guys. It's been a while since we were taken out for a treat, won't you say? As Mito smirked. What kind of treat, brother? What do you think, Naruto? Something expensive. Maybe some food at a different restaurant. Someplace kind of fancy. And I'm sure that our perfect sensei here would pick up the check. And why would I do that, said Jiraiya. Knowing how much you kids could eat, you would bankrupt me. Oh, you don't understand, said Naruto. Understand what, said Jiraiya. We're blackmailing you. As Jiraiya eyed twitch. Of all the things, you guys would blackmail your favorite sensei in this world. Actually, Snatty is my favorite sensei, said Mito. Kakashi for me, said Naruto. Itachi for me, said Menma. Jiraiya dropped to the ground as he started crying. You three kids wound me, he said. Fine, I'll take you all out to eat, but not a word to Snatty. Now I know to never speak anything too sensitive around you guys ever again, he said. As long as you bring us somewhere fancy, we don't mind, said Menma with a smirk. Bastards. What was that, said Mito. Oh, nothing, he said. Well then, Mito, we are out. How about you two? Well, I don't see any problem, said Menma. Me neither, said Naruto. Alright then, said Jiraiya as he threw the scroll off his back. He unfurled it. Upon said scroll, Naruto saw his father's name. Well, that should be obvious considering that his father was a summoner as well. Of the Toads to be exact. Alright then, just sign your name right there in blood. Menma went first as he signed his name. As Naruto went afterwards. The moment Naruto's fingers made contact. As he signed his name and finished. At Mount Miyaboku, The eyes of the great elder toad snap open. The toad started to scream. A lot of toads in the vicinity rushed towards the great elder toad, as they had no idea what the hell was going on. Panic and chaos ensued as the toad just started to scream, gripping his head rather tightly as he fell off his large chair. Several of the larger toads came forward and caught him as he passed out, confusing and shocking them as they quickly started to check up on him. With the contract signed, Jiraiya told Mito not to leave. He just wanted to show her how awesome toad summoners were. Alright, why don't you go first, Menma? Alright, sure thing, said Menma, as Jiraiya showed him the hand signs. He bit his finger and went through hand signs. Summoning Jutsu! The marking on the ground came, but nothing arrived. Did you do it right? Said Mito. I did exactly what he told me. Try it again, said Jiraiya. Summoning Jutsu! But nothing came. Jiraiya was confused. Naruto, why don't you give it a try? Naruto did the same thing and nothing came. Jiraiya decided to try himself, as they were doing it perfectly right. After a few seconds there was nothing until the marking on the ground started to light up once again. There was a small poof as a messenger toad appeared. Jiraiya, we're sorry about the inconvenience, but we're having a problem right now. We're sorry that we can't take your calls. We will inform you what is going on later. The toad poofed away before he could say anything. As Jiraiya looked at the others, well, it seems like there's a problem going on at Mount Miyaboku. Why don't you guys go ahead and have some fun? I'll find out what is going on, then we can try again later. So much of being a toad summoner, it doesn't even work correctly, said Mito. There was a problem, said Jiraiya. I bet there wasn't a problem between the slugs. Just face it, slugs are better than toads. Jiraiya's eye twitched. He was about to say something, but he forgot, as he saw all three of them looking at him. They're not going to trap him like that again. Time skip. 2 weeks pass, as they got training from different areas. Kushina still continued to teach them Fuin Jutsu. As she watched them grow, Kushina was getting another idea. She wanted another baby. She hadn't told Minato about this yet, but she wanted another baby. They were just growing so fast. She wanted another baby that she can dote on. Yes, being a mother was hard, but still, having 3 kids, raising them properly, she had gotten used to it. It's not like she's gonna love them any different. She's gonna love all of her kids equally, but she wanted another baby. Another child in the house. It would be amazing to have another child. Another little girl or boy. She didn't mind the gender, but, well, she had made up her mind. As she enjoyed spending time with her kids already, her family was just gonna grow a lot larger. As she continued to teach them with Fuinjutsu. Regarding their training, Kakashi picked up Naruto's training. Menma went to train with Minato because there's a few things regarding speed that he wanted to show him, a different few maneuvers. Menma took mostly after Minato after all. Mito went to Sneddy. And so they divide. They only come together when they start to learn more on Fuinjutsu. The kids were slowly becoming sealing masters. At the Sun, it was not so good. The Kazekage was raging that Gar was defeated by the Hokage's brat. Their plans were more eager to be accomplished. Konoha was just getting more and more stronger for Gar to be easily defeated, from what he heard from his other children. But all of this was being driven by one man, and that was a Snake Sanin Orochimaru, who had already been in Konoha creating chaos. He has not shown himself or did anything that will catch the public eye, but he was planning a lot. The Sand was not the only village that he was getting involved. After all, Minato was hated by a lot of people. A lot would want to see the Hidden Leaf burn, along with Minato and his entire family. One of those people being Oniki. So soon enough, chaos was gonna reign. At the moment though, as the training was happening at Konoha, while Naruto did not need to really train or do anything, he just took the life of a standard kid. The only time when he really used his power was when he was angry, or when he was gonna fight someone that he needed to use it on. But so far there was not someone that could push him to go too far. There was a reason why he was stripped of all of his powers. There was a reason why he was trapped in a small pod as a goo. After all, he did have a body. He was created by them, he had a body. But that body was destroyed. But that was another mess for another time right now. But there was one thing though. The title of God of Destruction. It belonged to him. As that was not important right now though. Orochimaru of the Sannin, as he's been a missing for quite some time now, has been through a lot. He had escaped Konoha alive. Despite the dangerous acts that he had committed, he had joined the Akatsuki. But then, because they didn't suit his interest to what he wanted, he chose to go against them. He thought he could use them, but in the end, they were trying to control him like some puppet. But he belonged to no one. He do what he want when he want. He was Orochimaru, the goddamn snake Sannin. Thus he took over the rice country, calling it the Land of Sound, gaining allies and supports. Orochimaru was gonna use all of that support right now to bring Konoha to its knees, but not only that, with a little help from the dead, as he smirked. Konoha didn't have a Biju, so he doubt they could stand up very long against 3 Bijus. Yes, not 1, not 2, but 3. Problem and chaos was coming Konoha way. At the moment, Danzo Shamura, a man that was bathed in darkness, has been quiet for the past couple of years. The reason being, Hiruzen was not like Minato. Minato had proved it a long time ago by putting Danzo in his place. So much so that Danzo had to completely erase his root existence from Konoha. At the moment his roots were set up on an island on the east coast of the Land of Fire, moving towards the Land of Wave, an island that is not known by anyone. He had his operatives there. So far he has been getting words that Orochimaru was making dealings all over the Elemental Nation, while he wanted Minato dethroned. Orochimaru attacking Konoha with force that he did not plan for would be catastrophic. So Danzo intended to investigate about this more. But right now Danzo was a shell of his former self. No longer having his root at his beck and call, having him so far away, it angered him. He would give anything to see Minato died in that spot, and him taking over as the next Hokage. But with Hiruzen still being alive, he will need to die as well so he wouldn't retake the throne. Soon enough, he will start to enact a few plans that will set the world into motion, that will need him to intervene. But for now, he had to find out what Orochimaru was doing. He used to be in contact with the snake until the snake cut ties. That meant he was hell-bent on bringing everything down, even him with Konoha. And Danzo couldn't allow that to happen. He couldn't, under no circumstances. Meanwhile that was going on, as Naruto was surprised when she came to visit him. He didn't expect her to still be in Konoha. He thought that she had returned home. It was none other than Yujito, as she once again gave him that cat-like smile. She was really cute. But guys, it'll be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.